I'd like to say welcome everybody and welcome to Sarcoidosis Awareness Month. I'd like to say I was born with pneumonia in 1960. I have been sick all my life. Imagine walking around for several years not knowing what was wrong with you and going back and forth to the doctors only to be told you have allergies or to be ignored in most cases. As women, especially in our community, we know that is what happens to us. We also are oftentimes not believed. In 1994, I had a dry cough, asthma-like symptoms, lost 50 pounds, and had shortness of breath. All the medications given were not helping. One day, felt like I was dying. I could not take what was happening to me anymore. I called my parents, and they dropped everything, picked me up, and took me to the ER. There, I had a chest x-ray and was immediately admitted to the hospital. Being in the hospital for almost 2 weeks with lots of testing took place. From the x-ray, they found what was called granulomas. Granulomas are tiny clumps of cells that are lumped together that fight against your own body. They also found pneumonia. But the most interesting outcome was the diagnosis that was given. The first one was considered non-Hodgkin's lymphoma, which was a form of cancer. All that I can think of when they gave me that diagnosis was who was going to raise my 2 daughters. I called my mom and gave her that devastating news. That diagnosis at that time was not sitting well with me because it was a deadly cancer. I thought I was dying. A few days later, the doctors decided that they wanted to test me further, that they was not sure that I had non-Hodgkin's lymphoma. After having a bronchoscopy, a lymph node removal, and other testing, it was determined that I had a medical mystery. That medical mystery was called sarcoidosis. Once that diagnosis was named, I was told that it was incurable, that it was manageable, and that I would have to live with it for the rest of my life. I was released from the hospital on my unknown journey. In the early 2000s, I continued to live my life unencumbered by sarcoidosis. And what I meant by that is, for a long time, I was in remission. My name is Regina. I worked in education all of my life. I received my bachelor's and my master's degree through IU. I raised 2 daughters. I am a mamaw of 2 granddaughters. Mamaw is the name my oldest granddaughter gave me, and it has stuck with me all these years. I started a support group in 2016 as a result of losing my brother in 2014. He is who I talk to every morning before work. He had a condition that was similar to mine. My brother had polymyositis. When the pandemic hit, I transitioned that support group to a Facebook group page called Sarcoidosis Warriors of Indiana. I'm a patient advocate for the Foundation for Sarcoidosis Research, FSR, and I'm a support group moderator for ANCAN and a facilitator for ANCAN Writing Group. I love to write poetry. But as of late, all my writings are about my illness journey. I started a YouTube channel talking about my life as a business owner, gardener, and my sarcoidosis journey. This is my book, To Hell with Sarcoidosis, and I'll tell you about how I got started with my book. In 2017, during one of my support group meetings, I found out about the Cleveland Clinic, and I found out that they had a sarcoidosis clinic. In 1994, until that time, I did not have any support except for the support of my mother, my pops, and my immediate family. And I did not know anything about any type of support groups or any other type of any kind of help. So that is why I wanted to start a support group, because also I had lost my brother during that time. In 2018, I became ill. I wind up having a deadly virus. I wind up being put into the hospital. In that January, I spent a whole week in the hospital, and that virus took me out of remission. To this day, I'm out of remission. My pops had the same virus that year, and during that time, we both had the same things. We both would talk to each other about it. My pops passed away. I really wanted to go to the hospital to see him, and I couldn't. And my dog also passed away. 2018 was not a good year for me. The reason why I'm talking about this, because my dog was my traveling buddy, my pal, my everything. He is who kept me sane, kept me happy, who helped me get through some of my hard times with my sarcoid. When I was ill and I could not care for my dog, my pops would come over and take care of him for me. They loved each other dearly. And I was surprised that my dog passed away that year. And to this day, I say they're both in heaven, frolicking, having fun with each other. I know they are. Anyway, still during this time, I was on steroids. I had to be on different treatment protocols throughout the years. And in that same year, towards the end of February of 2018, I was still sick. And FSR gave me a phone call, which happened to be on a Thursday. And I had known they was following me, and they decided that they wanted me to come to one of their training programs to become an ambassador for the state of Indiana. And of course I would say, yeah, I'm going to come. Well, the crazy thing about it is they wanted me to be on a plane on a Friday, and this was a Thursday, so I had to scramble and get packed and be ready the next day to go to a training on a Friday for a weekend in Maryland. And of course I did it, because I really wanted to see what it was all about. When I got to Maryland, I want to tell y'all what, I felt like I had found my tribe. You know how when you go somewhere and you finally figured it out, or you think you figured it out, and you found like your buddies, your family, your friends. That's how I felt. I was in a room of people who were like me. And this is when I started working on the cover of my book. I'm going to show you this part right here because this other has a QR code on it. This is the cover of my book. But this is the final cover. When I started writing on my book, it has several different covers to it, and I just couldn't get it right. The first cover I didn't like it. The second cover I did, I had an artist do the cover for me, and it was too manly. I didn't like it, and I still wanted that personal touch to it. Then I finally figured it out. That is my actual fist. That's on that cover. That's my fist. And that was how I came about this cover. Then I started working on the very first poetry piece. That piece came in 2019. I'll read that piece to you all later. But that's not the only thing that happened to me after 2018. Between 2018 and 2019, I spent anywhere from 24 hours to a month in the hospital for a whole year, off and on, because I kept getting flare after flare after flare after flare after flare. And in 2019, I have to tell you this story. We thought I was going blind. Now, mind you, I'm going to tell that story, Mom. My mom and Pops, bless his heart, her heart, Pops wouldn't let Mom drive anywhere. He was her chauffeur. He chauffeured her around everywhere. She was the princess of princesses. Well, Pops passed away a year ago, prior to me having to go somewhere. I got sick, really, really sick, and we thought I was going to be blind. I went to the ER, and we just knew it was sarcoid that had attacked my eyes. And I had to be blindfolded because I couldn't stand the light, I couldn't see. And we had to get an emergency appointment to go to Cleveland Clinic, to the Sarcoidosis clinic. And Mom had to take me. There was nobody else that could take me. And so Mom had to, once again, get on the highway. Mind you, she hadn't driven the highway in years. And so we get on the highway, and I had to use some senses that I've not used, because you know, when you're on the highway, you use your eye senses, you see. Well, I had to use my feeling senses and my hearing senses and other senses. And I'm like, Mom, are you speeding? And I can feel it. I'm like, hello? You got a blind daughter here, and I'm blindfolded, and I can't see what you're doing, and
Come on.
I'm like, come on, what's up? Anyway, it was like the most hilarious thing. It was like the blind leading the blind, really, because she was moving. I could feel it. You know how you just Feel it? Anyway, that was the most funniest thing ever in all of my sarcoidosis years, having her take her daughter. She was adamant that she was going to get me where I needed to go. So, but needless to say, I wasn't blind. I didn't have sarcoid in my eyes, and we were very, very thankful for that for that diagnosis at that time. And then later on that year, is when I wind up getting on Remicade. But before that, my dermatologist said that he wanted to be my right-hand man. And he did. He came through. He fought the insurance. I was able to get Remicade, which is what I'm on to this day. And then later on that year is when I wrote my first piece of poetry for my book, which is called The Journey of the Purple Snowflake. I've been writing poetry ever since my kids was little. But when I got sick, it's when I started writing poetry on illnesses. And I still write poetry on illnesses. I write journal entries. I write short stories. Hopefully I'll be writing another book soon. I really want to. I have covers for those already. And it's just great. The Remicade that I'm on is called my Joy Juice. It's what keeps me alive. It does take me down a notch or two when I get the infusion. I get it every 4 weeks. I've been on just about every treatment protocol that's out there for sarcoid. There's no drugs available for sarcoid except for one. I can't think of the name of it, but it is laced with steroids, and I can't take steroids because steroids will send me to DKA, which is diabetic ketoacidosis. I'm not a diabetic, but it will make me look like a diabetic. I can't take it. That's what sent me to the hospital back in 2019. That's what sent me to Cleveland Clinic because they thought I was blind back in 2019. Today, here recently, I've been to Cleveland Clinic after 32 years of having sarcoid. I now have scarring on my lungs. I don't know what that means, but eventually I'll find out. In 2022, I published my book. I'll hold it up again. The name of this book is To Hell with Sarcoidosis and Other Illnesses, Poetic Justice, Journaling My Inner Thoughts. This book is a two-parter. That two-part is, the beginning of it is dealing with the illness. It has all angerness in the beginning. Towards the middle, it's your new normal. Towards the end, it is living with the illness. It also has words of encouragement in it, and it is a journal book. You can write in it. And then it gives you an opportunity to write your own poetry piece in it. Doorbell. Gives you an opportunity to write your own poetry piece in it. This book can be found on Amazon, but if you buy it from me, you can get a signature. So, That's the personalized piece. Today, I am out of remission. I now have neural sarcoidosis. I have cutaneous sarcoidosis, which is in the skin. I have muscular, joint, lung. I have fibromyalgia. I'm waiting on other testing results from recent doctor's visits. I am going to be picking up more specialists here soon. All of my specialists will be at the Cleveland Clinic. I am in my chronic stages. Today, I am still surviving this disease. I am being a testimony to all. Even during adversity, you can get through a storm. I've been doing it for 32 years. Even though I've been going through it, I also have been taking time to start my own small business at the age of 63 called Uniquely Sarc Creations, LLC. My business is modeled after the sarcoidosis model that no two individuals are alike, but similar. Now, I will read you an excerpt from my book. It is called The Journey of the Purple Snowflake. The Journey of the Purple Snowflake. The journey to becoming a purple snowflake is long and arduous. It takes you through many parts of the body, mind, and soul. It cuts, slices, ravages. It destroys, it even kills. The journey to becoming. Why are we on this journey? No one will ever know, not even us. We hit many roads of lumps, bumps, and pains unknowingly. We see many people who tell us what is wrong. They say you have a mysterious disease. We get looked at as if we are plagued. We are. That mysterious disease is called sarcoidosis. We slide into the abyss of pulmonologists, dermatologists, neurologists, and cardiologists. But do they really know? We get thrown into the world of medications, Remicade, methotrexate, Plaquenil, prednisone. But do they help? Can there be a cure for this devastating journey? Talking, walking, working, and waiting endlessly? Raising awareness for that glorious cure? We wear purple to represent the regal fight against sarcoidosis, the symbol of purple snowflake. Individuality, no one is the same. We are different. Awaiting for this mysterious disease to disseminate, we are purple snowflakes, Sarc warriors, which is our journey of becoming. We continue to grow, limp, and fatigue on a daily basis, waiting for this journey to end. In the meantime, we will stand tall with all Sarc warriors alongside the scientists, doctors, and the researchers who are working towards a magical cure. We reach out to others with this mysterious disease. We cry, we share, we support, we teach, we love, we wait, we pray. We continue to fight the fight. Sarcoidosis is our journey to becoming a purple snowflake. Thank you.
Before I turn off the camera, do me a favor. Tell us what is on your table.